All right, it is day 27, and we are doing ring rows, 10D7. 10D6 was incredibly hard last time. I'm doing horizontal ring rows. Which are deceptively hard. Fun fact, I did some gua sha myofascial release on my lats the day after last session, I think, which left me very, very bruised. Seemed like there were some quite severe fascial and tissue adhesions. And we'll see. I don't know if doing that will have any effect. If I were to bet, I will fail around round 6. Now I have a very high standard for what failure is, but primarily form and range of motion needs to be 95% or above. Otherwise, it's no longer qualitative practice. And once I bring that level of quality into my practice, everything gets fuzzy. Essentially, if I lower the standard a little bit, well, what's to say I won't lower it a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more, and then I raise it, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I've improved my standard, but it's way below par. So yeah, I prefer to set a very, very high standard and not reach it or fail, instead of setting a low standard and surpassing it, but not actually doing qualitative work. And that's about it. Obviously, I've trained for quite some time, so I haven't failed or reached my limit in the push-ups, kettlebell swings, or goblet squats that I'm also doing on this program, which is probably because the capacity is already there, or it's easy for me to retake previous capacity. But this is going to be my challenge. Which will be a valuable teaching opportunity. And well, yeah, I have not been heavy on the gymnastics pulling game for quite some time, probably 6+ years. It's just been maintenance basically pull-ups, some front lever work. Nothing more than that. So obviously some proficiency will have deteriorated. Yeah, so that's 6, and that was where I fell short. I think that was actually round 6 as I predicted. So last time I started doing elevated rows to keep up with the volume. I'm not going to do that now because I do want the intensity. That is what I'm training for. I want this strength, but more of it. So I'm going to stay here, see if I can do 5 or 6 repetitions to finish out the workout. And no, that was a fail at 4. And this is also teachable. So if we go out too hard, we burn ourselves out and we underperform. So last time I just did 6s. I could do 6s all the way through. Now I did 7s for 6 rounds, and I'm down to 5s, which means I'm not at a lower level than I was at round 10 last time. So 6 times 7 is 42. I didn't complete that, but 6 times 10 is 60. Yeah, so that's another fail at 5. So done 42 plus 5, 4, 4, which is 55. And I should be at my last round. So if I do 5 reps here, I will have reached the same level of total work that I did in my last workout, but with less quality, more effort, more low quality input for my nervous system, for my movement patterns. So in essence, there is no way for me to win this workout. And that was 3 good reps and 2 subpar, non-full range of motion, which means I've performed less quality, less quantity of work this workout than I did in the last one. And that's all from pushing myself too hard. So, very good lesson. This needs to happen. This is why we do progressive overload. And obviously, if you're an advanced athlete or just experienced athlete, you know what your 1 rep max is, your limit. Then you can just work with percentages or regressions. But if you're using the training as its own feedback loop, this is the way. That should have been the last round. I thought I was already done, but I'm just waiting for the bell to chime in my ear. You can't hear it, of course. But I believe that was the 10th round, which means I miscalculated. And yeah, I'm definitely below par for the last workout. So basically, that's the lesson. Find your sweet spot, your flow, the meeting point of quality and quantity, as well as your recovery capacity or potential. So interesting. It's going to be nice to go back to 6 repetitions next workout. Keep working on that. Make sure that is solid and smooth all the way through. Then I'll start introducing 7s. So yeah, stay tuned for that. As always, follow my template in the comments. Reach out with any questions or feedback, what you need to know to be able to keep going in your personal practice. If you're not in the school community, Vital Man, the link should be in the bio or somewhere adjacent this video. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.